want to go on the internet and check out their friends, so why not build a website that offers that friends, pictures, profiles? I'm talking about taking the entire social experience of college and putting it online.
The site got 2,200 hits within 2 hours.
22,000.
This idea is potentially worth millions of dollars.
Millions.
He stole our website.
They're saying we stole the Facebook.
I know what it says.
So did we?
Y'all know I invented Facebook, don't you? I mean, think about it. Mark Zuckerberg, it started out very modestly as him drunk one night, getting online, calling his girlfriend a bitch. I do that every other night, so I'm suing this guy.
Well, except he's a genius and you're not.
I was going to say that.
A minor technicality.
It was the genius part that got Facebook, not the insulting woman.
Nevertheless, I will hold up in court. No, man, this is one of the best dramas this year, I think. I actually had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah,
that's some high praise.
You're going into a David Fincher film written by Aaron Sorkin, who did Charlie Wilson's War recently, which I think even got nominated for the Oscar for Best Screenplay. I mean,
got nominated for something.
Yeah, I mean, he's the writer of The West Wing. He's one of the best snappy dialogue writers out there. Soundtrack by Trent Reznor. I mean, it's got like this amazing like resume, and it lives up to it 100%.
Yeah, you're wondering like, how interesting can a movie be about Facebook?
I remember everybody laughed when the rumors were going around that they were actually making a movie about Facebook.
Well,
People were laughing out loud, going, "What, man, they really fucking ran out of ideas in Hollywood, haven't they?" You know what? Here's a piece of bubble gum on the fucking street. Why don't we write a movie about that?
You can't blame them for thinking that when like Ridley Scott is making Monopoly the movie. Come out with Battleship the movie. People were like, "This is just getting dumb."
Yeah.
But this isn't Facebook the movie in that context.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the story of how all this shit got started and you know how it got invented and the major amount of drama behind the scenes of that, because when you take a group of friends and you throw down say $1 billion in the middle of them, some tempers get raised.
So basically, this is the story is what would happen to us if we actually started to make money at this.
Well, hey, you remember that $5 we fought over? We were like dogs trying to fight over a bone. Here you go, guys, a crisp, clean $5 bill.
I think some of us were already fighting before there was like not even like 2 cents on the ground.
Well, I mean, with $5, it's all tooth and nail. But when you got billions, there's a lot of lying and backstabbing.
When you hire a lawyer for $5.
Even when the biggest asshole in the group, you want to say that guy is the worst and he owes everybody a certain amount of money. You begin to wonder, like, well, I don't know. You know, when the details come out, who really did invent Facebook? I mean, whose idea was it first? Who did most of the work to get it done? So it just goes between all these characters, and you kind of see everybody's point after a while, and that's what keeps the movie really going. Besides, as you said, the real just crackle snap dialogue of the script.
And that's, a lot of thanks is due to the lead actor who's playing Mark Zuckerberg,
Jesse Eisenberg,
who has found his way to not be Michael Cera.
Well, I was going to say, this is where he breaks out. People stop calling him the other Michael Cera.
I know, because he has got it. This script, it was almost written for him. It feels like it is. So his character, he's almost kind of autistic in the way that he's so smart and socially incompetent, but at the same time, he's brilliant. He's got a comeback in seconds for everybody that's just cutting and awesome, and you're like, you want to hate the guy because anybody would in real life. You can see why everybody's mad at him, but at the same time, you want to applaud him.
I found the movie very unrealistic, because there's no way a guy like that would not get the shit kicked out of him every weekend by anybody he talks to.
Yeah, well, they did say at one point that the two big fratty guys that he had initially really pissed off.
The Winklevoss twins?
Were chasing him across
Oh, yeah.
And then he just disappeared.
So this guy is like Rain Man, but with a laptop?
He's smart enough to build his own Batman toys, as I think.
He has... I guess the Asperger's syndrome of smartassness. Like he's such a genius, not only do with programming, but it's almost like I have a comeback for everything that somebody says to me. There's no way I'm not going to use it. I'm bursting with smugness and sarcasm.
He sounds like you ripped off my story without the success.
One would actually say he's got like sociopathic tendencies, which in the sense that he's actually incapable of seeing other people's point of view.
Right.
I mean, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand when he says something cruel to someone that he's saying to be helpful, that they're really fucking hurt by that.
Yeah.
When he does something hugely dickish to somebody, he's like, well, that's because I was right and you were wrong. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah.
And that's why that kind of attitude is always the winner's attitude. So, that's why I go with it. That's what,
And also, it does get pointed out to him at times where, like, okay, you did that not to try to help, but to be evil and fuck you.
Yeah, and he still doesn't get it. You know, what really hurts about it is a lot of times he's pointing out the truth. You're just
Nice.
like, you mother. Oh, you're right. God damn it.
The first 7 minutes of this film, because it opens with a conversation between him and a girl like that. This is the end of their relationship. He just doesn't know it yet. And that scene took 99 takes to film. 99.
Did it really?
Because it's so snappy
It
and
is.
so back and forth and so perfect. I mean, it is
Oh, yeah.
like right there you get the feeling for how this whole movie is going to be and who this guy is, and there's no way you're leaving this.
shit, after 99 things or 99 times of doing anything, it better be fucking perfect.
I gotta say,
Somebody's losing their job if it's not.
that makes me feel good about Jesse Eisenberg, because if he had nailed that in one take, I'd be like, oh, he really is that guy.
I would not be surprised to see more stuff like this down the road, but I would be surprised to see one anytime soon that's better than The Social.
Yeah.
Well, I read about the prequels already. The what was it, Napster, and what was that other site that people
MySpace.
MySpace. Oh man, those guys are crying on their big pillows right now. Where's my movie?
You can't tell how much is exaggerated or is true in this film. But he comes in one night and, out of breaking up with his girlfriend, decides to just write some code, which not only lets everybody know like his girlfriend's a bitch or in his eyes, but also something that just allows people to compare two hot girls and say which one is hotter. These two guys,
The Winklevoss.
the Winklevoss twins, yeah.
One actor.
I have all their
Wait,
albums.
whoa. That was one actor?
That was one actor.
That was one guy?
Yeah, but they did such a good job at being distinctive.
Hell yeah, they
And it was
did.
like, wow, yeah, no, that was one actor.
Josh Pence he played the twins. In the movie, you never know. They said, we want to invent this social network on campus that allows everybody at Harvard to be able to connect with each other. And this guy, Mark Zuckerberg, he says, okay, I'm in. But he starts working on this more and more on his own and starts returning calls. And it gets to a point where he takes their idea. It turns into the Facebook at first. After a while, these guys are like, wait a minute, there's a Facebook in, I don't know, Ethiopia or whatever. And they're like, so he ends up getting sued by these guys, but he pisses off his partner, Eduardo, and he attracts the attention of Sean Parker, the guy who invented Napster. And so you get people who come in and become partners on this idea. Some people are taken out of the idea. Some people feel like they're stolen from. It's just one big, huge, messy lawsuit.
Seriously, dude, you watch this movie and it's telling our future.
People.com has just as much potential as
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, dream big.
I have no worries about that ever happening to us. We'll always be friends because we'll never be Facebooks. No lawsuit there. But we'll always be broke.
But you're saying something about Napster.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just how Sean Parker, the guy who invented Napster, he's played by Justin Timberlake, who comes in to say, like, you know, he comes in with the fast lifestyle, like, yeah, Napster screwed me over, man, but you got something good. You got the goods, kid. And I'm come out to L.A. and we're gonna live the high life, and I'm gonna help you make this bigger than it's ever been.
It sounds like a pimp.
Yeah,
He's seducing him with like all the stuff that he has. It hasn't occurred to Mark Zuckerberg to really do, you know? I mean, like, let's all get high and invite a bunch of people over to the house and let's look at all these crazy shit we could do with this. Because Zuckerberg's like I'm just gonna sit in front of the computer and program type of guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was going to say, just hearing the name, I'm still one of those robots that cringes when somebody mentions Justin Timberlake. How was that guy in this movie?
Honestly,
I was really curious.
Like, up to this point, where people say, like, hey, Justin Timberlake is actually pretty good in these things. I've seen him in stuff, and I've been like, he's been all right, nothing to write home about. This is the first time I saw him in something where I was like, okay, now he's good.
Yeah, to some level, I mean, this is the role. He's playing kind of a scummy guy here, and he's an unlikable character, but at least by the end. And, you know, it takes him for a guy who was a huge pop star like Justin Timberlake turn around and say, yeah, I'll play the scumbag. And
Right.
he does it well. I believed it completely.
Yeah.
Well, I've always thought that he was good.
He's actually really good in this.
He really is. Everyone is really good
Yeah.
in this film. I mean, like I said, the twins. The guy is excellent. He really nails it. The girl who plays his ex, Mark Zuckerberg's ex-girlfriend, she's only in it here and there. But, man, you can feel waves of ice coming off that girl.
Oh, that girl is she's going to be in the remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
That's right.
Rooney Mara.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's Yeah, you got to wonder after a while, man. She was kind of a cold bitch, though. I mean,
no, she wasn't. After everything he said to her, she was well within her rights with everything she did. Matter of fact, she was nice about it.
She was like, okay, there are no second chances, and I can't blame her, but she was pretty mean about it even then.
Could I talk to you alone for a second?
I think I'm good right here.
I'd love to talk to you alone. If we could just go someplace.
Right here is fine.
I don't know if you heard about this new website I launched.
No.
The Facebook?
You called me a bitch on the internet, Mark.
That's why I wanted to talk to you. If we
On
could
the
just...
internet.
That's why I came over.
Comparing women to farm animals.
I didn't end up doing that.
It didn't stop you from writing it. As if every thought that tumbles through your head was so clever it would be a crime for it not to be shared. The internet's not written in pencil, Mark. It's written in ink. And you published that Erica Albright was a bitch right before you made some ignorant crack about my family's name, my bra size, and then rated women based on their hotness.
Erica, is there a problem?
No, there's no problem. You write your snide from a dark room because that's what the angry do nowadays. I was nice to you. Don't torture me for it.
If we could just go somewhere for a minute.
I don't want to be rude to my friends.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck with your video game.
He made her.
When it comes down to it, the star of the film is once again Zuckerberg, who really, or not Zuckerberg, Jesse
Eisenberg.
Eisenberg, Zuckerberg, whatever. Berg. I'll just call them Berg from now on. Berg is awesome in every scene that he's in.
He is.
He's so fast talking and he's so clever, and he's been given great stuff to read, but not every actor could read it the way that he manages to get off.
Jesse Eisenberg has always been one of those actors that I love him in everything he's in.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the only movie of his that I didn't love was Adventureland, and I still liked him in it. I think the guy who played Eduardo, his partner, I really liked him a lot.
Andrew Garfield, who's going to be the next Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Oh, what has he been in before?
I don't know.
He was in Red Riding, but I don't think you saw that.
Huh?
So.
He looked very familiar. He's Peter Parker. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I really liked his character and him as an actor throughout this movie, and he's a guy who I felt got screwed the most because he was genuinely good friends with Zuckerberg and forgave a lot of his bad behaviors, supported him.
One of those guys who knows, okay, we've been friends for a long time, and I know he can be a real dick, but I also know that I'm like his only real friend, and I know that he wouldn't do anything to fuck me. Having been in that situation,
a few times, yeah, I know. It's painful watching it. It's like, oh, I know where you think this is going to end, and I know where it's actually going to end.
Yeah, because this guy is not the guy that you're hoping in your little optimistic heart that he is.
You guys telling me this movie's predictable? What are you saying here?
It's a rise and fall movie of sorts. It's not as predictable as say Many. I mean, like the other movie we were comparing this
Middleman?
to. Middleman was very much a by the book. Thing.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that works for this movie is that we still feel like we're in on this. Facebook is something that people use every day.
Yeah.
It is something that is a part of most people's lives all around the world. And so we feel like we actually have a stake in this story also. And so just to learn about what happened behind the scenes with this makes us feel like I'm kind of there for that. I mean, this is still relevant right now. I mean, this thing is still kind of new, and it's still well, no, I mean, you're not going to be having $1 billion or anything like that. But
when the movie is over, you're very
still,
much in your own reality going, man, fuck, I should have done that.
You still going home to eat a Hungry Man TV dinner and maybe get on Facebook after that. but
you'll masturbate in front of your computer.
But
man, I should have done that.
Zuckerberg's still not going to friend you back.
And the other strength of this film, I mean, is outside of the actors, is what's his name's direction, David Fincher. A lot of people thought, and this is what I hate about people when they try to just type a certain director. A lot of people said, I don't know if this is going to work because David Fincher is directing this, and I was like, well, what's wrong with that? And it's like, well, he's so dark, and it just doesn't seem like a social networking movie, a movie about Facebook. That's just that's not going to work with him.
What's on the laptop? What's on the laptop?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what do you want? You want Brad Pitt looking at his Facebook page like, what's in the inbox? What's in the inbox? He clicks on it, it's a human head on there. He shoots his laptop. But no, it's like, look, this is a guy who, we forget. Because we're so stuck on him doing Fight Club and Seven and even Aliens 3 that we're thinking of him as a dark director. But let's not forget that he did also Benjamin Buttons. And a lot of people still say, He did that?
Even that's kind of dark in a lot of points. I mean, you've read Panic Room, Zodiac, both really dark movies. He's pretty much known for doing dark stuff.
Well, I mean, but he's a talented director enough to where he knows how. I think he's just not. He shouldn't be pigeonholed into like, okay, I can't direct anything without a murderer in it. Everything that David Fincher shoots, I have to admit, for some reason, he's obsessed with green. Yeah. I mean, he likes to shoot things with the fluorescent lights on, and it's like, you can look at this, and if you have any doubt it's a David Fincher movie, just say, is it green?
Yes, green is in the scene.
Even when he's not using that lighting scheme, there's something about just the image. I think there's a particular type of camera he uses or something. I don't know what it is, but all his films have this grain that's identical.
But you know what? Despite that, I still love how his films look.
That's not a criticism.
Yeah.
No,
it's not.
Have a distinctive style.
Yeah.
So
and he directed this so well that after a while you don't even notice that. But yet you can walk away saying that was still a David Fincher movie. So
yeah, you're not waiting for people to go crazy and start killing people because of that.
It's not like a Tony Scott film where his style gets in the way of what he's trying to do. And also, he always does something that's pretty amazing in the movie that you just don't really take notice of, some special effects. So you're saying that guy, Josh Pence, he played the twins. In the movie, you never know.
It's seriously, even hearing it now, I'm looking back going like, wait a minute.
With what Fincher has done before with that sort of thing, with those sort of use of subtle effects, it's not that surprising. You're like, wow, there's a guy you want to be able to use an integrated effect like that. Even though it made me go, why didn't you just get twins, dude? I just don't. There's lots of twins out there.
I think that guy or those guys, whatever it was, worked so well for what he was conveying. Like, these twins of such privilege who, are such athletes, kings of the school, who have never had the tables turned on them by somebody, especially somebody they can consider a Poindexter.
I think that a lot of people are going to see different points of view, and they're going to walk out almost probably arguing about, well, this person had a point, and they're like, no, I think that person was wrong. I think that this person had a point. I mean, I think it's not as cut and dry as anybody thinks it is, and it really does come down to, like, it's such a messy lawsuit that it comes down to just personality type. And that guy, Mark Zuckerberg, is such an asshole. You're like, well, whoever's right or wrong, this guy's just going to fucking shoot himself in the own foot. Again, you have to watch it thinking, like, how much of this is true and how much of it isn't. I mean,
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, if it's one of these things where I would read up on it and find out most of this wasn't true, I would think differently about the movie.
The people involved said that all the actual facts of the story presented as facts are true. It's just the partying is highly exaggerated. And even that, I'm like, are you sure? That's the type of thing you'd go, wait, if you were going to lie about anything, that's what you'd lie about.
I guess if there was any complaint that I have, I think some people are going to go in and they are going to expect something more. And I don't know what they're going to expect, but because a lot of
ads, I was thinking it was going to be a romantic comedy almost.
Oh, who knows, man? Some people might go in being misled by David Fincher's name. Some people might look at the ads a little different. It's because when you go, everybody's going to tell you this movie's great, and if you see this, especially a week or so after the movie's out, there's going to be a huge buzz. There's already a buzz. People are going to jump on the bandwagon for that.
People are on Facebook talking about it.
People are already on Facebook Facebooking about it.
I hit the like button.
I'm Mark Zuckerberg's friend. But a lot of people are going to walk in and see that this movie is a courtroom drama outside of a courtroom. There's a lot of sitting around a table. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of back and forth. And there's not a whole lot outside of that. And so I don't know if people are going to like that or not. I liked it a lot. I think the dialogue was enough to support that. But the other thing is, I like Trent Reznor's score for this. He scored the movie. And I enjoyed it. I thought it fit.
Wow.
I thought it was great.
But there were maybe one or two times where it was a little too Trent Reznor. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is at his computer just typing, and you hear. Did
you see a monkey in a cage? I thought in the background going crazy.
I thought his printer was fucking up or something. I'm like, okay, there was one or two spots that kind of jolted me a little bit, but other than that, I like that he actually chose him to do all the compositions for this.
It's appropriate for a computer kind of base.
Yeah, it does.
It's an excellent movie. I mean, it's got all the elements. A top-notch director, a fantastic screenplay, and just some of the best actors you could have to do this, and they all pull it off. I really don't have a whole lot more to add than what we've been saying. You just go, it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great.
Yeah.
But I will say that there was a point in the movie I thought kind of dragged.
That's what I'm saying too. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's just somewhere in between the second and third act, I was like, as much as I'm enjoying this, I'm sort of starting to not care. There's a lot of back and forth here. But then toward the end, you know what? It's almost like Justin Timberlake saved it, because when he comes back into the movie toward the end, that's when I thought it really kicked back into high gear. But yeah, it's a full price movie.
Yeah, it's about the top of the third act. There's a point for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10, maybe 15, where it's not dragging per se. It's just suddenly kind of just dog paddling.
Yeah,
in place.
treading
It's
water.
treading water. You're like, okay, what's next? How are we leaping off into how we get back to into the linear flashbacks that we've been seeing the whole movie, the court case. It's actually a high full price for me. I loved the shit out of this movie. It's not a Better Than Sex, you're right. It wasn't aiming to be that type of movie, but this is one of the best sort of true story type things I've seen in a while, and it is so relevant. You're like, wow, this applies to me.
It's a movie about the youngest billionaire in the world, and a lot of people love to see the story behind that. They want to see the rise of this character. They want to see the fall of this character, even if it's just his character. I mean, or his personality that they bring down. If it's just a character assassination, I like the movie a lot. I think the ending kind of caught me off guard. I didn't see an ending coming, and then before I knew it, it was over.
It was over.
Yeah, and it did so. There's no real climax or build up here. Which, hey, look, if it's true to life, I can't fault the movie for that. But I will admit, okay, this movie's starting to drag a little bit now. Oh, it's over. But as you said, it's still a full price movie.
Did you notice like Rashida Jones delivers the last line of the movie, and it's a good line, but as she says it, she's running out of the room that he's she's the last person in the room with him. She says that line to him, and it just hightails it out of there. Like she was scared. Nobody noticed.
I don't know. Maybe she's snappy.
I didn't see it.
I'm like, we noticed. What's why you bring that up?
Yeah,
What's the point?
Oh, the point is, fuck you.
Man, he's just like Leon's just like that Mark Zuckerberg guy. He's so fast to witty rejoinder.
I know. Well, we know who the asshole is of this group.
Your best friend is suing you for $600 million.
As for the charges, I believe I deserve some recognition from this board.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Which part?